Keeping the Pope safe is no easy task. Unlike most world leaders, being among the masses and tending to the faithful is a job requirement. So how do you protect the spiritual leader of over 1 billion Catholics? Well, it requires a mix of modern-day measures and centuries-old security.
For heads of state, protection for those who would wish them harm is a way of life. But the head of the Vatican state is a man who demands to be accessible to crowds, to touch and be touched. Security has to be discreet.
I think it's much more dangerous to be Pope than it is to be, say, the United States President or probably the President of any country.
During his time as pontiff, Benedict was occasionally left exposed. In 2009, a young woman caused the elderly Pope to fall as he walked through the Basilica to say Mass. It turned out to be nothing more sinister than misplaced devotion. And this breach was more Kodak moment than life-threatening. Philip Pulela traveled extensively with John Paul II and remembers the day a pope's life was almost lost and the lives of all future popes changed.
On May 13th of 1981, John Paul was riding in what became known as the Pope Mobile. In fact, it was just a white Jeep. And he was standing there and he was shot by the Turkish gunman Mehmet Ali Agca, and he nearly died. He came within a hair of dying.
We saw the plaque that marks the spot on the floor of the Vatican hospital where Benedict's predecessor was resuscitated. But keeping the head of the Catholic Church alive and well had been on the agenda way before 1981. In the 13th century, the Passetto di Borgo, a secret passage, provided a quick getaway to any pontiff whose Vatican came under attack. It runs from the back of the Basilica along the aqueducts of Rome to the safety of the Castle Sant'Angelo. A must-see for Rome's tourists. These days, it's not as secret as it used to be. But history is everywhere. The Swiss Guard, one of the oldest and certainly most colorful armies in the world, has been looking after popes for over 500 years. But modern crowds require modern measures. The ancient structures of the Vatican now surrender themselves to high-tech surveillance systems. No sooner did the conclave start than curious crowds made their way to St. Peter's. Just a few hundred, but Rome's police is preparing for numbers to rise to hundreds of thousands, probably within hours, should an Italian get the vote. It's about more than keeping the Pope safe, it's keeping everyone safe. Whomever he is, the new Pope inherits a Catholic Church demanding change, but some things will stay just as they are.
How will they handle security for the new Pope?
I think it'll be more of the same, because you can't be sort of, the Italians say blindato, you can't be a bulletproof Pope.
You know, it was fascinating. You and I got a
Sistine
tour.
Chapel to the Vatican City, yes.
Yes, and we saw, of course, the hospital that they have back there where they placed Pope John Paul on May 13th, 1981, where he almost died.
As close as you could come to death, they said when they showed us. And then they mark it with a monument, a little piece of tile in the floor.
Yeah, incredible, incredible there.